Hey, what's going on, my friends? It's Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. If I'm not mistaken, I am blessed with a return guest, Brett. Welcome to the show,
Hey,
brother.
how are you?
This
It's
is your
very
second or
nice to
third
be
time.
here. Yes, it is the second time. As a matter of fact, I'm starting to believe the power of thoughts right now,
Mm.
because for the first time I went with you on the Legendary. I was like, okay, you know what? I wish I could go on Wake Up with Legendary with Dave. And 30 days after that, I was able to come for the first time.
Yeah.
But then I was really busy, and like it was like actually like 3 weeks ago. I was like, wow! I watched again the show on Facebook, and then I was like, oh damn! I wish I could go again on a Wake Up Legendary. And then 4 days after I said that, I swear to God, I got email again. Hey, do you want to be there? I said, yeah, of course I want to be there. So I'm so blessed. So thank you for the opportunity to be here and to be with you and hang out with everybody here with Wake Up Legendary.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to talk to you. What inside what has been happening in your life or what has been happening in your business that you were feeling the pull that you wanted to come out and share?
Uh, I think it is mostly about the mindset, actually, because
Okay.
I've seen on every time I go on a Facebook and I see comments, a lot of people, they are commenting like, oh, you know what, I spent so much money for traffic, I don't get no leads, or I did so many videos, I get no leads. And then I'm like, I just want to say that I was in that shoes as well. And once I was focusing on not having enough, right? And this is basically what bring me a lot of, or like put a break on my success, just because I thought that I am not good enough to do stuff. And I
Yeah.
was always like thinking, oh, the other guy, he's doing it for 10 years, so of course he's gonna make really good money, but me, I'm just starting out, so what should I do?
Yeah.
But this is just only, we have to shift this mindset. I think that when we shift this mindset, then we can achieve so much more. Because
Yeah.
right now I have, not only I do basically right now I do affiliate marketing on the side, and my main like business right now are two e-commerce stores we have with my fiance for past 3 years, and it's like been doing really good. And it's mostly because I changed the mindset from, even from a training which we have every Monday on a legendary basically marketers club, which
Yeah.
teaches you all about Facebook marketing, copywriting. You can basically learn from that and apply it. But most people, they just consume information and they think, oh, okay, I knew that, but they didn't actually apply it, right? So maybe they have it here, but because they apply it, then they are like wondering, hey, how come that my business is not growing? So
Yeah.
I just like would like to address this. I would like to say to people, just make sure that whatever knowledge you have, just go out and do it, and maybe just do it until you actually see results, right?
Could I propose, tell me if this is also what you're feeling and thinking, is that a person does not truly know something until they have done it.
Exactly.
Meaning that just because you know about it because it's
Yeah.
in your head, that does not mean you know it, because
Yeah.
knowing means that you know it from experience.
Exactly. Exactly. This is very important. Like, even because I also teach martial arts, right? So even when I have
Right.
students in my
I
martial
knew
arts
I
class,
That's
they're
exactly
like,
what I remember
I
about you.
show them something and explain to them something. And for example, it takes me like 5 minutes to say something to them and they do it. And they are like, okay. So now I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm going to leave you for 5 minutes. I go somewhere else to look at different people. And then I come back and I say, okay. But I see it in my peripheral vision. I see that they don't do it. They just do it one time. And then when I come there, I say, hey, did you practice? I said, yeah, I'm going to show it to me. And I see that it's all messed, right? So I'm like, hey, you do it again, because I see that you need to practice more. And
Yeah.
I ask them so many times, hey, did you do it? Yes. Did you do it? Yes. But then I see, I can't tell that they didn't do it, right? So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's
yeah.
basically the same
Well,
thing.
it's muscle memory. I learned that when I was playing baseball when I was a young child, that it was less about the it was less about like discovering one secret and more about muscle memory. And that was, taking swings, finding my rhythm, and then trying to kind of build my muscles to where they memorized it and
Yeah.
they did it as second nature. That's what my dad called it, and what we all called it was muscle memory. I don't know if that's a real thing or not, but that's what we called it back in my baseball days.
We still do
And
call it like that. It is real. It is real.
yeah, man. So it's like really, really, there's no substitute for being in the gym and taking the free throws. Like I
Yeah.
remember whether it was Jordan, and there's been stories about all these champions and how they practiced, you know. But the stories about the basketball player in the gym who is, takes 1,000, shoots 1,000 free throws a day. It's like it, these superstars and the people who are successful did not get that way because they were born that way. Sure, they may have been inclined to be athletic, but we never see how hard they work behind the scenes because
Yeah.
that's not part of the finished film. That's not part of the finished game. That's not what's entertaining. That's boring to see somebody just do the same thing 1,000 times without,
Yeah.
but that's what makes somebody great. And I think, what does that look like in our business? What is that sort of practice? How would you describe an example of how somebody could practice? What is something that you've done? Is it getting in front of the video camera? Is it writing emails? I mean, I think the same thing applies. The more emails I write, and for the first several years of my career, I wrote an email to my list personally every single day, and my email marketing skills improved. Nowadays, I go live, 4 to 5 days a week, and I'm a better communicator on camera. I'm a better interviewer. What are some of the things that you've done that have built muscle memory and helped you to get results in this business?
Yeah, so basically what I did is most of the time I tried also do videos, right? So on YouTube, TikTok, and mostly I like short, sorry, long videos just because I want to explain things. I feel that I'm kind of like a teacher. I want to explain to people why I'm doing things the way I do. And again, in the beginning, it was really hard for me to press the record button. And I don't care if it's TikTok video or YouTube video, it's the same thing. I
Sure.
experienced the same feeling of like, oh my God, now I have to press it on YouTube or even on TikTok. So it doesn't really matter. Basically, once you press it, then you are doing something. But what is good about this is that you are not live. If you don't like it, you can just delete it and you can start over. And for the first time,
Yeah.
I don't know if I maybe did like 100 times one take, and then I was like, oh my God, I still didn't like it. But then when I look at other people, sometimes they just show only the screen, and I was like, oh, I don't even have to be on the camera. So then I experience or experiment with that. I was like, okay, you know what? Let me do this. So then I try to do my voiceovers only to see
Mm.
like if I like my voice, and then I didn't like it, but some people say, "Ah, actually sounded good," and I'm like, okay. So once I start being comfortable with one thing, let's say good with my voice, or I wasn't be like panicking, oh my God, I sound like crazy guy, right? Like people will not understand me with my accent. But then that was my actually biggest fear. I was like, oh, you know what? My English is not proper, right? I don't know how to speak grammatically correct. But I was like, hey, you know what? I see people doing it. So I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, what is the worst thing that can happen? Somebody cannot come from the YouTube camera and punch me to the face. Hey, you stupid, right? They don't, because no, there's nobody there. It's just like the camera, and I don't know why I was so afraid of it. Like really,
Mm.
or just this, maybe a lot of people might think that it's real, like fear of being on camera. But
Sure,
again,
sure.
it's like you said, when once you do it over and over again, then you get more comfortable. And even if I say something wrong, then I don't stop. I'm like, okay, whatever. I just continue, because sometimes I think that if I would like, or if I would see somebody on the screen like me who makes mistakes but doesn't care and do it anyway, then I'm like, oh, it's better than when you see somebody polished who is, oh, he's professional. I will never be like that guy. But people might be like, hey, I can be like Brad because he doesn't care. He's making mistakes and it's okay. So this is what I think that the practice of it is the most important thing. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter if it's martial arts or business.
Well, I'm still
So
practicing. I mean, I
yeah,
don't I consider this, you know how they call like a doctor's office a practice,
yeah.
which is kind of scary, but it's true.
Exactly.
It's honest. Um, well, this is a practice too. This is a practice. Everything is a practice. I mean, no one expects no one expects perfection except you from
True.
yourself. Nobody expects perfection except we expect it from ourselves. Why do we do that, Brett? Why do we place these unrealistic expectations on ourselves? Do you think we get it from childhood? Do you think we get it from society?
I
Did you
think it's
struggle with
both. I think
perfectionism?
it's. I really believe that, for example, me. I remember when I grew up, my dad always was like, "Hey, every time," because I grew up in a village, so very small. Everybody knew each other, and it was like every time you see somebody in the bus or on the bus or on the street, say hello. And one time I remember I didn't do it. I really was like at home, hey, you didn't say this person hello. And I felt in that day, actually, I felt it. I said, I went to the bus and I said, hello, hello, hello. Every time, you go to the bus and there's each row of the seat, it's like, hello, hello. And I forgot maybe one guy. And then my dad knew about it. I was like, damn. So, you always put this because he told me, I don't want to feel like that you are not behaving good. That's why you have to always say hello to everybody. So I was like, to me it was in that time was annoying, but I did it because I didn't want him to come back to me and yell at me again. So that
Right.
at school the same thing. They want you to behave certain way. Like if you want to ask questions, just raise a hand. And like sometimes I even felt that I was raising hand a lot because I want to say something, but sometimes I prefer that the teacher prefers someone else all the time. I was like, oh, you know what? So I will not bother. I don't want to waste my time. And actually, I felt that when I was a kid, even at school. So then kind of I was like, you know what? I should be just normal, right?
Which
I don't
the
want to be like the one who is good at
normal,
school.
yeah, normal is just fit in, right? Don't make
Yeah,
too much
yeah,
noise. Don't ask too many questions.
yeah. Exactly, exactly. And inside, like I started teaching martial art when I was 15, actually. And I felt very good when I can explain something to somebody and when I can see somebody doing something for the first time in their life, feeling clumsy, feeling not good enough. But after like a month, they can see the improvement and they say, oh my God, I can't believe that I was behaving like this before. And that makes me really happy. So to me, even in the business, even when I go to different trade shows, and I see customer when I give them our product and I see that how happy they are
Yeah.
and they're like, oh my God, that's so I feel really good, empowered,
Yeah.
basically.
I had a thought, and that's amazing. I'm so glad that you're doing things that make you feel empowered and make you feel good about what you're doing. And that's what I was just talking about that. But I thought that when you were talking, I had this thought, and I think this is really something that I'd like to get everybody's opinion on. Is that I really think that it's uncool to be perfect nowadays, and it's cool to be like not perfect, like just be yourself, be sloppy, you know what I mean, like in your pajamas or sweatpants posting on social media and stuff. And I think that's a big shift. It's like a generational, or maybe it's not about generations. Maybe it's meaning that it's not about age groups. Maybe it's just about the time we're in, because obviously I'm going to get, slapped aside my head by all my elders here in the comments that, hey, we're young too. I get it. And so what is it? But I really feel that we've made a shift in society to where back when I was a kid, it was really about image management. Everybody, it was always about putting, like you said, I grew up the same way, like put on that smile, everybody, it's all about how you look. It's not about what's really happening in your life, but it's just about what you're presenting to other people. Oh, everything's fine. Oh, we're doing fantastic. Everybody had their nice Christmas picture or whatever they wanted. And nowadays it's just, I think also cell phones have changed it, because now we're taking pictures of ourselves and we can do more. But my point is that it's less cool to be perfect, and it's more attractive. And people right now, the times that we're in, people feel uncomfortable or like you're hiding something if you're too perfect. Do you agree
Yeah,
with that, or how would you
yeah,
explain what's going
I
on?
agree with it, and I think it's all around the world. Just because my fiance is a Vietnamese background, so she is from Asian family, and they are
Mhm.
really traditional. And I remember
Sure.
she's telling me before, when she was going to college, she said to parents, you know what, because they want her to go to the college, so say, okay, I'm gonna go to the college, but if I don't like it, I'm gonna last maximum 3 months, and then I'm
Yeah.
gonna open my own business. And when she actually did that, she quit, and then she started doing her own business online, making nothing in the beginning, and working like really many hours a day, just trying to taking pictures, putting it on the websites and all that stuff.
Sounds like an entrepreneur's journey.
Their Yeah, but their parents were ashamed of
Yes.
her because she didn't go to the school. And it was like, she was like, you know what, we went to see family members, and they said, hey, how was Kim's school? And her dad was completely, he didn't want to talk about it at all. So,
Right.
but look, it's now 5 years from that point, and now actually they see that how much we grew in the business, and now they ask us what to do, and now they are like, oh, online is cool, because they closed their own crazy business that didn't work, and now we actually help them to live good life. So this
I
is
love it.
this is what really is good. And
Hey, those
we did,
tables turn. Those
yeah,
tables
it's
turn, don't
cool.
they, baby? Those
Exactly, no
tables
school.
turn.
Yeah, but you know what, they still think that it's good to be a lawyer or doctor. But it is changing, I see this, like that, like all these Vietnamese young kids here in, for example, Czech Republic, their parents work so much, so hard, that they want better life for their kids, so they say, I'll go to the
Yeah.
college. But now I
Yeah.
see that the kids, they're opening cool places and doing different businesses than what the parents want them to do, which is kind
Yeah.
of cool.
Well, that is a very common thing in many families. I'm sure it's very prevalent in Asian families, uh like your girlfriend. Did you say girlfriend or fiance?
Fiance,
Um,
yeah, yeah,
fiance.
yeah, yeah,
Uh, but my lord, and you know what? Being a doctor or a lawyer is a good career. It is a profession. It's just that we, as young people, are exposed to more opportunity nowadays. We don't only have our parents or the people at our school who are telling us, well, these are your only options. It's this
yeah,
college or this college. Nowadays we have the internet. We don't get our information from an encyclopedia that somebody came and sold to us by knocking on our door. We have a cell phone. We can be on we're exposed to a lot more information. And that's something that my parents didn't have when they were growing up. As a matter of fact, something even more tragic in and I was talking about this, thinking on this the other day, and I'm not a Holocaust expert, and not to get too morbid, but back in the beginning of the Holocaust, there were people who did run from city to city to warn, and because and many didn't leave because they didn't believe that what they said was happening was happening. Now imagine if people suffered because of lack of communication and lack of knowledge. And and imagine if they had Instagram back then, or they had,
yeah,
you're seeing a bit of how people are able to defend themselves better when they have better communication, by what's happening with Ukraine right now, and how they're able to be. So, it's hard for these families and these who have these traditional beliefs and want to see their children to go on in these same similar career paths, and these children, we children, we kids, our generation had exposure to all these different choices. Now we got TikTok, we got Instagram, and even more information and choices.
Yeah.
And it's like we're really in a massive shift right now. We're in a place to where, again, that old way of thinking, whether it be kind of the presentation perfectionism, or the very traditional proper, or a lot of those things are becoming less because people are being simply exposed to more information, so they have more choices now.
Yeah, yeah. That's for some people it's good that we have all this information, and for some people it's bad, just because most people, especially you know, I think that a lot of people, they take this information and they consume a lot information, but they don't do anything with it, right? But if you know how to extract, if you can be like curator, you can extract the right information and apply it to your business right away. Then this is fantastic time. It is fantastic. Especially, well, for example, I when I go to a village where I grew up to see my family, my parents, they know that me and my fiance, we are working online, and
Mhm.
still are wondering that if I stay there, let's say on Monday, Tuesday, and wake up anytime I want, and I just put laptop on the table, have coffee, and they're like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "Working," and they're like, I still don't get it. How come that you work on the computer? Like I used to, we used to go wake up, go 8 o'clock to be some in some office, punch hours, and this is, they still think that even though I work online with my fiance, they still think that we have a physical job somewhere, and they kind of
Yeah,
like it's kind of like an awe that they look at us like we are crazy. So
yeah.
it's like,
Well, you are.
yeah,
You are. And the crazy ones, as Steve Jobs said, are the ones that change the world. You're
yeah,
always called crazy before you're called brilliant. You really are. In many cases, not every case. Okay, I don't want to give everybody a pass for kind of, but yes, oftentimes when you're called crazy because you're pursuing something different or innovative, or that people don't understand. I mean, Facebook, the platform that we're on streaming this right now, is being called crazy. Last night, their stock price just completely flat, tanked
mhm,
because people don't believe in the metaverse.
mhm,
I mean, they don't believe. They believe that the metaverse is a wasteful idea, and especially as we're going through and into tighter times economically. I think they've spent something like $9 billion on it this year, developing it. But it's a great example of someone that's being criticized.
yeah,
Zuckerberg. I mean, they've already created products that have completely changed the world. And now you're betting against that they're not going to create something else that's really, and now they've got way more money and way more
exactly,
talent. And
yeah.
you think that they're not going to, so you think that they're not going to create something interesting. They've already got Microsoft on board. They've already got all these companies who want to be a part, involved in the metaverse, all this. They own Instagram. They own WhatsApp. They don't even generate any income from WhatsApp, as far as I know. I
Yeah.
think they're just starting to roll out ads. And all these people are calling them crazy. Now, hey, I might be crazy, but I'm an entrepreneur, so I'm more relating to Zuckerberg and that than all the news people who are
Yeah,
saying,
me too.
"Oh, he's not. This is a flopped business. This is, I was wrong. It's going down." It's like, I think they're innovating, and you just think that they're crazy.
Yeah, I think that I really believe in the metaverse, and I think that it's gonna be. I think that like Zuckerberg and his companies or whatever is he building, he's a very smart guy, and I believe that right now it's still. If I go outside and ask people about metaverse, maybe people are like, "What is that?" Right? But no, even though they are in media, maybe in the United States, but here people, they still don't know it. But
Yeah,
when they kick in, and when it's gonna go up, 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 and when a lot, everybody's gonna be talking about it. Even my grandma will talk about, hey, do you have your own metaverse or something? Then I know that I'm already too late, right?
Sure.
So now
Sure.
we know that they are
Good
crazy.
point.
So if we can see where or what kind of like usage can it have for marketers, it can be really good because there could be products
Thank you.
that people might want to buy. There could be like, you can make online
That's it.
academies where people can see each other, like, live, but
Totally.
with some good
Totally.
those eyes, and you don't
Totally.
need to even travel, so you save money on air tickets and you can see each other, you can hug each other. I think it's going to
Yes.
be good.
Yeah.
I don't know
I
what
mean,
school
there's
is
a
going to be
precedent.
improving through this. I think I would like to see, like, because school is boring, and like, if I whatever I learned it by myself, just because I kind of found it interesting, and I look it up on Google, on YouTube, and everywhere. But if there's going to be like a school system where you can be set into metaverse and you can study whatever you want, then I bet you that I will be really good at what I choose. So I think
Yeah.
that it could be like the information what we
Imagine
have right now, it's going to change.
imagine your children at school being able to have an experience to where they could walk through Rome
Yeah, yeah,
without being there. You understand?
yeah,
What if we could what if people at a private school who never understood what poverty looked like could walk through the streets of, I don't know, name
yeah,
one of
yeah,
the hundreds of countries that's in poverty happens everywhere. But what if we could walk through streets, forest,
yeah,
I mean, folks, we're not going backwards. We're going to innovate this world until we destroy it. I mean, I'm sorry to be morbid about it, and it's not going to happen in your lifetime or your children's lifetime. So you really don't have. You're not going to be hurt by it. But we are going to innovate this world until we either make it a self-sustaining, wonderful, ongoing, where we don't just, or we're just going to totally destroy it. But we're not going to stop innovating. And if any of you think that, this whole creator economy that's happening, this work from home movement that's happening, the gig economy movement that's happening, the fact that, quite frankly, it's hard to, a middle class person in America can hardly afford to pay their bills without a side hustle nowadays. If you think that the gig economy, the creator economy, all these, the non-traditional way of doing commerce, meaning that you no longer have to go into a store to shop for clothes. You can shop for them right online. If you
yeah,
don't think that's going to continue to evolve, then you're betting against all this. And this is probably going to be hard for you to kind of grasp. But if you immerse yourself in this community for a couple of months, you listen to these wake up lives, you go through the training, you'll start to understand that the internet is not just a massive opportunity for big companies like Facebook, but their success relies on us engaging on the platform. And
yeah,
that's why TikTok shook things up. And TikTok brought a lot of creators over there because they put their content in front of people besides just those that followed them. And they figured out how to do that. That changed the game because now on Instagram, now on YouTube, now on Facebook, they're creating products that are helping you, the creator, get more exposure because why? They want you on their platform creating, not on the Chinese company TikTok. And so they are going to continue to evolve these products for you and for me. We are not only the people who are clicking the ads, folks, but we're like their affiliates, okay?
mhm,
Because we're the ones who are creating the content. YouTube already pays people who you can monetize your channel by running ads once you start getting a certain number of views. YouTube's been doing that. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram is now allowing you to both charge your consumers or your followers a subscription fee. They're also paying you for the content. And not to mention, you can give them calls to action to go off the site.
yeah,
This is the reason why people are betting against this, if they are, is because they don't understand it. And you're right. The point that you made, by the time your grandma or whoever has no knowledge finds out about it, it's too late.
Yeah, yeah, I believe that.
And it's not like, that doesn't mean that it's really too late. It just means that it just means that now everybody knows about it. Right now is the prime time opportunity to get started, I think, with short form content. If you can't do long form content, YouTube has been around for a while. So there's some really good creators on YouTube, but the short form video game is much more raw and ripe. And you can get on there and create an audience rather fast right now across, whether it be TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. And if you're doing YouTube shorts, posting them on Pinterest, you can do different things. But right now is kind of like, right now is the early days, folks. This is the ground floor for short form video. Any one of you has a chance to build. This is not just a some will find gold, some won't. Every one of us has a chance to mine gold out of this ground floor opportunity. And and people don't even realize that they're reels on Facebook. They don't even know. They're still just scrolling. They don't understand what's going on behind the scenes and how us creators are moving from platform to platform, posting content wherever we can get the best results, while still continuing to post on the platforms like Facebook that may be trying to catch up to TikTok. But what I'm trying to articulate here is the urgency behind, around the fact that we're early right now. It's early, not late in the game.
Yeah, it is very important to take action, now, because there's always going to be more consumers than creators, and with this kind of cool things, that means that even you, me, someone else who just starting out right now, they can have their own audience, just because, just imagine there are people who have some kind of problems, right, and they overcome that problem. Now, for example, if I would have, I don't know, if I would be overweight, let's say, right, and then I figure out how to become fit, then I know that I can talk about it confidently to other people, and I can attract audience to me that will relate to me. If I, for example, start a business with, I don't know, like $1,000, and I make it like to $30,000 a month business, people will be like, oh, how did you do that? Maybe I will attract that type of audience because I overcame certain problem. And if I had that problem, then there might be hundreds of thousands of people who might have the same problem. People
Yeah.
want to lose weight, they want to make more money, or maybe I don't know, they want to know how to date girls, right? So there's always going to be somebody who has some solution for something, and if you are able to attract, because the way you're teaching it, then you attract the right audience to you, then who cares that there is thousands of others with a similar information, just because those thousand people who sell the same information might be different than me, just because I'm me, and people
Yeah.
like maybe talk to me, not to Peter, right? So
Yeah.
this is what I think, that like even with my martial arts school, there's like 10 martial arts schools in Prague that teach the same thing basically, and I don't care about them. Really, I know that I teach my students the way I teach, and if people want to come to my classes, they come, and if they want to come to their classes, they will come to their classes. So there's enough for everyone, and I
Yeah.
think that we just need to take action and pull the right audience towards ourselves.
Yeah, you're so right about, there's always going to be more consumers than creators. You can pull statistics. You can do the research yourself. If you're unsure about that, you can fact check it. I know that half of the world's population used a Facebook or Meta product last month. Half of the world's population,
It's a
something like
lot.
4 billion people. You can go and read the statistics right on Mark Zuckerberg's profile. He did a update of how many people are using the products on actually
Mm.
on Facebook right now. There's more interaction on Facebook, more active users, I believe, than there's ever been before. So even Facebook, who everybody's like, oh, Facebook's dying, nobody's on it. That's untrue. That's untrue. It's not dying. People say, well, Facebook, Facebook, here it is right here. Let me just show you. Okay. More people are using these products than ever before right now. Everybody's not on TikTok. People are using these products left and right, all over the place. So let me pull up his little his update here. So 3.7 billion people now use one of Meta apps monthly. The number of people using Facebook each day is the highest it's ever been. Instagram has more than 2 billion monthly actives. WhatsApp has more than 2 billion daily actives. We're also seeing strong momentum in Reels with 140 billion plays across our
Wow.
services each day. Overall, our product trends look better than some of the recent commentary I've seen. That's his really polite way of saying the peanut gallery doesn't know shit. That's what he was saying right there. Um, so you can when you read it from the words of an entrepreneur, and you can see that it's a long message. I read the whole thing yesterday, but we're we're in a time like never before. I mean, we're in a time like never before, to where these huge companies are literally they are killing themselves to try to figure out how to make us happy and how to keep us on their platform and how to pay us, make it profitable for us. I mean, us being on their platform, the biggest companies in the world, from Amazon, where people are selling products on Amazon, a lot of Amazon's business is individual sellers. I'm not a huge fan of that, because unfortunately what happens is Amazon begins to compete against you, but that's a discussion for another day. So does CVS, Walgreens, and all these. They put a generic product, their own generic product, right next to your product, and start to siphon off those sales. But the point is that these platforms cannot exist without us
Yeah.
creators. That's what you have to understand. That without us creating content on the platform itself, there's not going to be anybody there to consume it. So these platforms are going to continue to start paying people more, making it, pushing their content out in more powerful ways. So people like us continue to create content on their platform. Um, why are you doing affiliate marketing when you've also been doing some e-commerce and drop shipping? What do you see in that business model, and what do you see in learning these skills that you think is important?
Well, you see, affiliate marketing, it is a way where, especially for legendary, I must say, it's where I basically just send traffic, and that's all. Most of the time, it is just get traffic, go to a program like you have done great job with creating sales letters, have good pricing points. All the system works, so I don't need to really reinvent the wheel. Whereas where I have my own e-commerce store, I have to basically get the same traffic, but also we get a lot because right now is season for us, and we have two e-commerce stores in the same season. We get so many emails, so many calls, so many people want to. And if people buy something, they want to refund, and maybe their size is different, so they try something on and it doesn't fit me, and they return it. So you pay actually postage twice, because you want for the customer to be really good. So that's you're like, okay, send it to me back. I will send you better one, better size and stuff. But this is all like really we wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning, and we go to sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning actually. Like it's sometimes we have lunch at 6 o'clock, because it was so busy. But when I see with affiliate marketing, is just you only need to figure it out how to do the traffic that is good for the offer. People who are really hungry in knowing more, wanted to invest in themselves, not to basically rely on other people. Oh, you have to go to school. Or I thought that, if when you're gonna be the dentist, I still go to my parents' house, and they are always telling to Kim, to my fiance, oh my God, if he would go to be dentist, now he can fix my teeth. I'm like, but I don't want to fix the teeth, So affiliate marketing is thing, you can be affiliate for anything that you want. There's like whatever industry they have products or services, you can be affiliate for. You don't need to really be affiliate for only legendary or only for products that you find on ClickBank or on Amazon, because there's so many ways that you can find products. Maybe there are products that only few people promote, right? So if people are afraid, oh, there's too much competition in promoting whatever, then it just find something that you like, and then you can maybe try the product on, because I believe that you need to be product of the product. I think that if you don't buy legendary course and you try to promote it and you don't know what's inside, then you're just basically it's going to take too much time, because you cannot speak from your experience. You cannot speak of, you cannot even learn. Like, even if you learn from legendary marketer, you can use the same information, even watching this wake up legendary every day, and you can always get some kind of like tidbit information, and you can make short form content on that, right? So this is basically easiest way to do business online, because you only need to focus on traffic. And the traffic from like YouTube videos, from TikTok, from Reels right now, from Facebook, or from even Twitter short form content like tweets is now getting really. I'm just trying to test it out,
So
and I think,
So this is another thing. Elon just bought Twitter. Do you think
yeah,
that company's not going to get innovated?
oh, it's gonna be better. That's why now I'm practicing my tweets, because I know that in couple months I will be good tweeter. Because it's all about copywriting, right?
I'm
I
practicing my
right.
tweets.
So it's good platform. Twitter is good right now. I think good platform to practice attention grabbing with words.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, I mean, Twitter is a great platform to figure out, how do I say what I need to say and say it in a powerful way in 140
yeah,
characters.
yeah,
It's a great place to practice that. Saying more with less, saying more with less. So this is being more clear, right?
yeah.
Um, we've got. I mean, if I we've got some training on Twitter. I mean, it's just, Jamie says, how do you get the traffic rolling? You pick one strategy and get started, brother. You pick
Hmm.
one
Hmm.
strategy and get started. There's plenty of training daily here on Wake Up Legendary, where we're talking about how to get traffic and so forth. I mean, if you go back and listen to any 10 episodes, just listen to, pick any time, whether it's today and go back 10, just throw a dart at a date and go and listen to 5 or 10 of those, and you will pick up strategies. Now, if you can't afford or want to buy some of our more advanced training, like the blueprints, we break down specifics about how to generate traffic on each one of the platforms, including Twitter, some really as a matter of fact, we have people inside of our community that have been building strong businesses completely and totally on Twitter, as you said, because if you're going to do affiliate marketing, specifically, the thing you need is traffic. Traffic is like cash flow. It's the lifeblood of your business. And that's why we love affiliate marketing, for people to get started, whether they're an affiliate for Legendary or whether you become an affiliate for another product or company. The ability to get started and only have to focus on one area of your business at a time, versus what you were just describing
Yeah.
with your e-commerce business, which is you have to focus on the marketing, the tech, websites, funnels, ads, everything,
Support.
shipping,
Yeah.
support. Yeah.
And sometimes, if, for example, like UPS comes early the day because they are so busy, so they are going earlier to pick up the goods. and I still have so many packages to pack. Then I have to go at night and I have to go to their depot and actually deposit my boxes over there as well. So it costs me also gas and everything. Takes
Yeah.
time basically to go there 40 minutes wherever I live. 40 minutes there, 40 minutes back. So it's, yeah, it's just, but you know what? I enjoy it. I enjoy this type of process, right? So but for people who would be like, oh, this is too much work, then I really think that being affiliate is good options. It's really good because like like for legendary on YouTube, for example, I track my traffic. So every time I post videos on my YouTube and I promote, let's say, something else, then I have a code, and basically I see that a video that I have for legendary actually bring me more. Actually, the one video that is review that I posted like uh, basically in 2021, or I don't know when I posted it. It's a the review. Then that actually earned me $10,000 with legendary. Yeah, that one. And the first $1,000 commission from that video I got when this video had only 700 views. So now, for example, I know that in the lifetime of this video, YouTube paid me $394 for like ads, but legendary paid me 10 grand for that video. Because when I look in my back office inside legendary marketer, I see the snippet, and usually comes from this video. People who actually, people who buy the whole blueprint, they actually comes from this video.
Yeah.
And it's something special.
Yeah, no, I get it, man. And this is a great strategy that like all of you could use right now, not just to review Legendary, but to review any company.
Yeah.
I'll give you, there's a company called Wealthy Affiliate in there. I don't mind giving them a plug because I'm going to give you their entire strategy right now. There's no need to buy their training. Only because they've caused me such a headache over the years. And the reason why is because they teach this strategy. It's the whole strategy is to go do reviews on gurus and go do reviews on products and go do reviews on companies, exactly like you did right here. And they'll usually, if you see blog posts that are like, "Is Dave Sharpe a scam?" or it's usually one of their people who wrote an article on me or wrote an article on Legendary or something. And of course, they have their own affiliate links littered all throughout the blog post. It's the reason why is because before somebody joins some sort of an MLM, for example, or before they buy a course, like buying a course here from Legendary, or before they go and begin to follow a guru or something, a lot of times they'll go and do their due diligence. They'll go and do their research, right? Where do they go to do that? Well, they go to the Google product suite. Okay. Google owns Google search engine and Google owns YouTube. And
Yeah.
so we go to Google, we type in whatever we're looking for, whatever we want to do our research on. And guess what? These videos come up, these blog posts come up. And if you give a good review, not just a crappy one, if you try to give an unbiased review, and there's so many. You can keep it really simple. You can keep it really in depth. But the majority of the ways that you end the video or the blog post is just by simply saying, "Hey, hopefully this was useful to you throughout doing your research. If you want to know my number one recommendation to make money online, or if you want to know my number one course that I recommend to get started in your journey in internet marketing, or my number one recommendation for where you should buy your dog food and dog treats, or mine," right? You can do this for any and every industry, because every and any industry has hundreds of different companies or products or people that you can review, and it's done for you content essentially, because you don't have to have a success story with it. You don't have to have anything. You're just reviewing what exists out there. And it's good if you go through and try to learn and don't do a crappy review. Try to do something to where you sound like you know what you're talking about, and you're and that usually doesn't take a lot of time. I mean, if I was going to do a YouTube video, I might on a company or a product, I might go opt in. I might even buy the thing. I don't know. I would do whatever I had to do, because the better the content, the more results you're going to get from the content. And then at the end, again, the call to action is so simple. The transition is so simple. I hope this was really valuable to you, and I hope that you learned everything that you were looking to learn about said product. Now, if you want to know my number one recommended VR headset for you to explore and do work and do your business and enjoy your friends and family around the world inside of the metaverse, then I recommend you go and buy these VR glasses.
Yeah.
It works with anything and everything. And it's really cool that you brought that up. What else worked for you in that review video besides just doing the video? Is there any other specific things you could call out that you could give a tip on through doing review videos or blog posts?
I think that basically you said most of it. There is the call to action is at the end, or maybe even in the middle of the video is important. But if you do it, like I tested, sometimes do call to action maybe in the beginning, maybe in the first minute, then in a
Mm.
middle of the video. But if it's at the end of the video, I think that the people are more likely to buy or to take you up on the offer just because they watch the whole thing. And if they watch the beginning only and they just click to be curious, they are only basically curious. They just want to see, oh, what you're selling. But if
Right.
it's at the end, then they I know that they are interested. They
Right.
know that there is something that it makes them to watch the whole video, and then they say, okay, you know what, I will go and try to figure out what it is. So
Yeah.
when I do call to action right now, I do it only in the at the end of the video, even though I might have maybe more signups for leads when I do it in the middle. But I'm not going, I don't want to have large number of leads that they don't later on not even open the emails or something. I want to have somebody who says, okay, Brett, how you do it. Maybe even I like people to send me emails, and maybe I sometimes I go on Zoom with
Yeah.
people and try to make them understand that basically business is business, and you
Yeah.
cannot go with average mindset to suddenly become rich business owner. You need to change the mindset, and I
Yeah.
can help them usually if I go on the Zoom call with them later on, just because I can tell them what really takes to make normal business, or even what does it take to just be employee after you have good college degree. Because
Yeah.
many people think, I go to the college, I have good degree, and then I have job that pays me, I don't know, 100 grand a year. It can happen, but to
Yeah.
most people who actually go from the school like this, they don't get a job right away. I know people who are doctors, let's say, even now, because I don't want to bring it up, but I know people in Ukraine that they are doctors and they come to Czech Republic right now and they are just working as a cashier. you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
uh, I,
Yeah.
I know
There's
the
a there,
situation is different, right? But you never know. You cannot guarantee that
right.
you gonna be doctor when you finish the school. That means you
Sure.
cannot even guarantee when you finish training from legendary marketer that you're gonna be successful. You're gonna be only successful when you do it,
Yeah.
right? So,
Absolutely. On the YouTube thing, I wanted to follow. This is our affiliate marketing business blueprint, okay? And I'm going right down here into the YouTube section, because as you can see, the exact step by step, exactly what to do. Somebody asked where to get traffic. Well, look at this. Look at these sections. You just pick a strategy, whether it be Facebook funnel, whether it be TikTok funnel, whether it be YouTube funnel, whether it be the Instagram funnel, the Pinterest funnel, right? No matter what your strategy is, it's in here. It's in here. And so I wanted to show you something specifically about YouTube. Now, there's this thing, this particular case study that Big Mark did at one of our, and he's a YouTuber, and he's built a massive channel and done really well. Well, he did a presentation, and I wanted to just share this with everybody without giving away the entire course and product for those who bought it. Just show you this kind of where you should put your call to action. So for example, at the beginning of the video, there's a little bit of teaser and a little bit of proof. Teaser meaning, hey, here's what I'm going to teach you in this video. At the end of the video, I'm going to reveal my number one recommendation for how you can do this. And, here's what, here's the sites, or here's the businesses, or here's the person that I'm going to be talking about. If you're doing a review video, right? You don't particularly need to show any proof. If you were teaching a strategy, even if you were teaching something on dog training, it would be a good example, a good idea to maybe say, would you like your dog to sit like this nicely while you're having dinner? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how in 3 simple steps, right? That would be an example of showing proof. And then you just get into your content, not pitching, not even mentioning that you have something for sale or something that you're recommending. In the middle of the video, you might simply give them an invitation or a call to action to hit that like button, subscribe to your channel, because that's important. And then you continue with the content. When you ask just real quickly for something and then go right back in, but you don't pitch something, you just say, hey, you smash the like, it'll help the channel. Now let me get back into the content. Boom. They're like, man, wow, you need to give them results before they trust you. You need to give them results. Give them something that they could get results with, that they feel like, oh, I could take this and get results with it. It's called results in advance, right? Something that Frank Kern kind of coined. I don't think he turned it into a product, but I did hear him teach that back many years ago, that concept of the results in advance. In your training, in your stuff, teach them something that they could get a result with before you ask them for money, right? Now you go into the gold reveal, like, let me summarize the steps, or let me tell you the third and final most important piece of this puzzle in order to make your dog sit there patiently as you eat your T-bone steak, right? And not get up until you ask him to. Okay. Well, this final point that I'm going to tell you is the most important one, right? The gold reveal, right? And then you might talk a little bit about that for a moment, or recap what you said inside of the video, but then you're going to give a call to action. And the reason why he has call to action / story right here is because it's always better to even wrap your call to action inside of a story. Because if you wrap your call to action inside of a story, it helps the person it makes more sense why you're recommending it. If you think back to when you were a child, what was the number one thing that you said? Why? Why? You wondered why. Well, that never went away. You just got pissed off when your parents or whoever said, because I said so. So if I'm a marketer and I just say, click the call to action, click the link in my description because I said so, you're probably going to be turned off by that. But if I explain, here is why this is my number one recommendation, because these particular dog treats that I use, and that was my third and final suggestion, is that these are the dog treats that I give my dog and I use, and they worked better than anything else. And the reason why I'm going to give you the link down below for you to go and check out those dog treats and try them wrapped inside of the formula that I gave you, okay, is because I believe these dog treats are going to help you get the same results with your dog that I get with mine. So you can go ahead and click the link down below inside of my description. It's an affiliate link. It'll help the channel, help support the channel, but it will also help you complete the formula that I've taught you. So go ahead and click that link below, pick up your treats. Make sure you also download my one-page document formula inside of that I'll send to you once you enter your email into my landing page over there. And I'll see you on the next video, right? And what's so powerful about this is that it's a conversational sell. It's not a hardcore pitch. It's also an educational sell, right? You educated them. And somebody is an educated person will buy so much it'll make your head spin. Whereas somebody who is not educated about the product will not buy no matter how good the deal is. You
True.
can know it's a good deal, but if they don't understand why it's a good deal and what it does, etc., they'll never buy. And that's why it's better to educate them before you ask for the money rather than say, well, I'll tell you after you pay. See, that's the number one way people fail in business. They don't get that. It's an employee mindset. Pay me first and then I'll do the work. No, let me show you what I can do. And you know what? The same thing works when, like, I have people who actually, they were just here, gardeners, people who mow the lawn. I like to give workers a tip first, not at the end of the job. Why would I do that? I want to tip them at the beginning of the job so they know, hey, you understand what I'm saying? They understand. It's that kind of results in advance. I want to get what I want. So I'm willing to go above and beyond, whether that means parting with my money early as an investment in these workers, or whether that means being willing to create a 20-minute video and do some research and educate my client, educate my prospect before I expect that they're going to do anything that I want them to do. Right, Brett?
It's fantastic. This last 15 minutes, I'm gonna rewatch it so many times now because it's just gold. Definitely like great example of one of the best call to action I've ever actually heard on live free call.
Yeah. Well, hey, brother, let's wrap up on that note, okay?
Sure.
Because listen, you've got a lot of things going on in your life, as you've explained, and I got to check on my calendar and see what I've got going on today. But I know I'm going to be wrapping up the decade in a day here in a little bit with Matt,
Cool.
and then maybe I'll get the opportunity to take my wife out on a boat ride later on this afternoon. Who knows? We'll see. But dude, it's been so. Thank you, man. Thank you, and thank you so much for wanting and being willing and being so open and ready to come back and talk to us and share your time and your experience and your honesty. Thank you so much, brother. And I'm looking forward to doing another episode with you here
Yeah,
soon.
sure. Anytime. I'm always up to be here, hanging out with you and everybody here. It's always my pleasure.
All right, Brett. Well, hey, man, keep up the great work. Be legendary. We'll talk to you soon, brother. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank
See
you.
you, man. All right, my friends, take care. Have a fantastic Friday, a legendary weekend. We'll be back here on Monday as we always are. There's going to be one thing as consistent as the sun rises, is that we'll be back here on Monday the same way that we are every Monday. So you can count on that. We hope to meet you back. Have a fantastic weekend. Make the best out of this weekend. Use the momentum and the excitement that you have right now to take action, because there's going to be times in your business where you're not going to be as excited. So you got to ride those pink clouds until the wheels fall off. All right, my friends, peace. Get out of here. Be legendary. Have a beautiful day.